What are we going to do about fantasy football, Chad?
That is a great question, but I feel good that we can make a decision because it's just you and I making decisions today.
That's right. But what if we don't agree then? We don't have a tiebreaker.
That's a good question. Let's just try to agree for once. But you made a great point. We had an overwhelming response for fantasy football, far more than what I thought we would get.
People love football, man, especially fantasy football. And our price point was reasonable, right? I mean, I think 50. We probably could have pushed it to like 500, but you know.
You wanted the national treasure buy-in, and I think we could have done it.
No, I meant like, you know, everybody put in like $100 towards one box as the prize, but I don't know. We'll keep it at 50. We'll keep it at 50. Yeah.
How ridiculous would that be?
It'd be so cool. And then like if somebody pulled a monster RPA out of it, that'd be immense.
Oh. So, Tim, I think that you and I should agree that by the time this show airs, we're going to have the details set and we're going to try to get everyone who's reached out to us involved.
Yeah, we definitely want as many people involved as possible because I think it's really cool that many people reached out to begin with. So,
yes.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, look at this, Tim. We're 2 minutes in and we're already agreeing. Let's start the show.
Okay.
There's an Adam. Oh, it's a 101.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Pack to the Future podcast. We're your hosts this week, Dr. Chad.
Someone called for a doctor?
How you doing, Chad?
I'm good, buddy.
We actually agreed there, huh?
Yeah, hey, that's 2 for 2.
And unfortunately, I'm your backup to your expansion host, Dr. Tim. Here we go, baby. Prepare to be even more underwhelmed. Your regular host, Ricky, is off at the happiest place on Earth doing research for something.
Tim, we got a good show lined up for these guys today. We've got select basketball coming up. We have National Treasures basketball, which we're going to talk about. Tim, we're going to find out if you're the ass. And
yeah.
Spoiler alert, the answer is yes.
It's a riff off the Reddit segment, but yeah, I think the answer will be pretty apparent. But this week, Ricky, where the heck are you?
Seriously, you know, I've got a funny story about this, and this reminds me of Ricky. A couple years ago, I had a patient who was pretty sick. His wife usually came in with him to his appointments, and then one day she came in on her own. And I said, "Oh, where's your husband?" And she looks me dead in the eye and she said, "He's not with us." I was like, "Oh no, like he passed away. I knew he was sick." And, you know, I'm going through this roller coaster of emotions and this trauma. And I'm like, "I'm really sorry for your loss." And she's like, "Oh, no. He's just at home. He's just not physically here with us today. I thought he was dead." Okay. And the same thing I thought the same thing about Ricky when we started the show. I guess in my mind, he is dead because he's at Disneyland and we aren't.
Yeah, I would say this is far worse than you going to a card shop on your own.
Thank you. So I'm going to hold a grudge for the next 7 years. And then eventually, at the decade anniversary of this show, yes, I can do math, then I will call him out on it and put him in card court.
Yeah, we'll bring it up then. Assuming we're still on air at that point. But
yes,
let's go for it.
But Tim, you had the great idea of, hey, you know what? Ricky's in Disneyland. Let's talk a little Disney collectible for our first segment. I like this a lot. Little twist on what we normally do, but I like this.
Hey, it's still collectible. And Panini has Disney and Marvel license kind of now. So it ties into Panini-ish, right? Right. We'll roll with it.
I like it.
Collectibles.
I like it.
Collectibles, dang it.
Okay, good enough.
Does Ricky actually collect anything? I don't think I've ever seen him seek anything out.
From Disney?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
No, Disney specifically.
You know, I don't know that Ricky does. I think his wife does quite a bit, and he moans and groans about it. He actually really enjoys it, and he's the first one to show it off in their house, but I don't know that he actually collects the stuff. But I've got someone who collects the stuff.
No, yeah.
He's a special guest today.
Mrs. Doc and Mrs. eBay are definitely really into the pins and stickers at some point, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, thank you for joining us, Mrs. eBay.
Mrs. Doc.
No, yeah, Mrs. Doc, you know.
Wait, how did you find out about me and Mrs. eBay?
Shoot. Yeah.
This just got awkward. And Mrs. Doc is staring a hole through me. Marriage is over. I'm just kidding, honey.
Wait, why did you respond to Mrs. eBay?
I knew who you were talking to.
This is what happens when we put Tim in charge.
I have 3 sisters. I get called all kinds of names.
This is why I'm the backup to the backup host, but here we are.
Tim, let's get into this, though.
Yeah, absolutely. This was definitely inspired by watching you, Mrs. Doc, collect pins. I mean, you went full bore into this. Probably even harder than some of us go into cards. And that's really why I wanted to feature this. Because it's basically the same thing, right? Like, how did you get into pins? And tell us a little bit about what drives you with this collection.
So I actually did not want to get into collecting things. I hate collecting things as an organizer. I think it's like the worst thing to do is collect things that you're just going to hang on to.
But
yeah, then what happened?
Yeah. Chad and I started going to Disneyland quite a bit, and I kept seeing this Pirates of the Caribbean, the gold coin pin, over and over and over again. And I was like, I'm just going to grab that one, and that's going to be it. And then I found a Minnie Mouse pin that I wanted and a Stitch pin that I wanted. And at some point I was like, this is a lot of pins, and it's starting to become a collection.
That's all it took, huh? Pirates of the Caribbean.
I don't know what it was about it either. It's just it kept staring at me, and it was over a couple years. Like, we went 3 or 4 times in a 2 or 3 year period, and I kept thinking, next time I see it, I'll get it. Next time I see it, I'll get it. And then I got it, and that was the opening of the floodgates.
And that was your gateway pin, huh?
Yes.
We don't know anything about that, do we, Tim?
No, not at all.
But then I found out about the grab bags. So you can buy these just colored bags, and you'll get 2 pins, and they're totally random. You have no idea what they're going to be. And so I started getting those, and I would get duplicates, and I would see kids collecting, and I would think, hey, I'll just see if they want this pin. Because I would see a lot of sweaty older men pushing in line to the cast members to grab pins and in front of children. And my etiquette and what I've read online is kids go first. You let the kids do it.
Absolutely.
And then once the kids have wandered off, then you can trade with the cast member, because the cast member is always going to say yes.
Yeah.
So hold on a second. Mrs. Doc, you understand that the card community and most of our listeners are not young, unsweaty men.
It's fine to be a sweaty older man. I just don't think you should push in front of children.
Okay, fair enough. And you did state you want to get kids in the hobby, which is something we have actively promoted too.
Yeah, which is really cool. And, sweaty old men, that's basically like all the men that are in line at Target waiting for retail boxes. It's no different.
Exactly.
It's no different.
Sometimes they wear suits and pretend that they're not in line to get cards like everyone else.
And their imaginary 4-year-old that they have at their side. Yeah.
Yes.
No, but so you get duplicate pins. I mean, I think that's ridiculous, right?
Oh, yeah, quite frequently.
Yeah.
It was several years before I learned that there's like a listing online of what each colored bag is going to have in it. I didn't realize that.
Very similar. It's a checklist, just like we have with our sports cards.
Right, yes.
Huh. Yeah, no, that's really cool. So at least that way you know what you're chasing.
Yeah, so most of the grab bags have like a picture on the back of what you're chasing, but the special hidden Mickey ones do not. And so that's why I'm just trying to point out that I'm not dumb, but I am kind of dumb.
No, not at all. You are not dumb about your collecting. You're pretty intense about it.
I would argue that she has a better collection of pins than I do cards, and I don't think that argument's actually even close.
Oh, that's no joke. She has a bigger binder than you do. That's not a euphemism. She has a bigger
You're going to get me in trouble. I am not responding to that. But Tim, one of the things that Mrs. Doc mentioned are packs, very similar to our packs of cards. And one problem that I've had with these Disney pin packs is that inside of these, there don't appear to be randomly inserted rare pins. I know that Disney makes numbered pins, But in our experience through buying these, they don't randomly insert them. And that just bothers me. It's something that's really led me off the chase of these, which is good for my finances, our finances. But, you know, Tim, you mentioned in our show notes randomly inserted short prints or super short prints. And I actually don't think that those exist inside Disney packs. Is that correct?
Well, so this is complicated. I made some notes. I didn't want to just spend the whole time talking, though, if that's not what you guys want me to do.
Oh, this is great.
We've got a couple minutes here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to answer your question in short format, during the 60th anniversary Diamond Celebration that Disneyland did, they did have grab bags that had special edition pins, but in general, they do not do that. So prior to the pandemic, they had about 6 different colors at any given time at Disney World and Disneyland, and they were different sets. And then they would release a separate set of colors. So they would have A and B through each year. And then they would just keep selling them until those colors were gone.
Okay. That's like parallels that we have in cards. Different
Sure.
sets, parallels. Yeah.
So that list would be online of what you could get. And so there would be your regulars and there would be your chasers. And the chasers were harder to get. They would be non-colored pin versions of the colored pin version. So they would just have no paint or resin inside of them. My understanding is those were harder to get, but I feel like it's actually the opposite. They were easier to get. So then they didn't have any numbering system on the back, like 1 of X. So like 1 of 50 or 1 of 100. They would have...
Mrs. Doc doesn't know about 101s because kind of the household thing.
Well, they don't have 1 of 1 pins. That's not a thing.
That'd be amazing if they did, you know, like the golden Mickey or like the platinum Mickey, right? With the diamond buried inside his ears or something like that.
I can tell you why they wouldn't ever do that. And that's because where they're made is in China. And
Tread carefully.
Oh, it's just like Panini products. We're fine. Yeah.
Okay.
well, so they're mass produced. So if there is any issue with the pin, Disney has a perfection standard. They get thrown away, except they're not actually thrown away. They're called scrappers. And so they're sold. There's also people who will make copies. And they're kind of poor copies. So there's ways that you can tell if you have a scrapper or not.
Huh. Like, do they exit out on the back or?
No. It's so they'll have like, I brought up some pins. I know this is not a visual show, but they'll have indents in the resin, in the colored resin. So like you can put your fingernail in it and it's not flat.
Okay.
There used to be a rumor that if the pin was magnetic, it was real. And if it wasn't magnetic, it was not, but that's not true. It's really just, and sometimes you can hold up a pin that you purchased and it looks like it's a scratcher because, you know, the coloring is a little weird. But if you purchased it, it's not a scratcher or it's not supposed to be.
Came out of a pack.
If it came out of a pack.
Yeah, that'd be lame.
Is there a way to, someone is monitoring these and if they see one that's not real, they pull it?
That's what, so if you were to walk up to a cast member and explain to them, I believe this is a scratcher, they're supposed to take it out of circulation. They're supposed to give it they have a special group that actually handles this at each park. And they're supposed to take it, they're supposed to photograph it, and then they're supposed to remove it from circulation.
Let's pause there.
Wow.
Tim, this is something, and you know where I'm going to go with this. How do we in the card world not have this? Why is it that podcasts and people on blowout forums have to police our cards that are fake?
That is
we have to argue to get them pulled off of auction websites.
Yeah, no, that's
why
exactly
is there
where I
no
was gonna
one
talk about it.
regulating that?
No.
Well, it's Disney. You're comparing to Disney.
These cards are more valuable than Disney pins. I mean, the argument can be made that it should be done.
Value-wise, for sure, the argument should be made. But why are we policing our own hobby? You know, we know how well that goes. You know, and like, why doesn't PWCC or why doesn't Golden Auctions or, you know, like, why aren't they on top of it? They're the ones that should be vouching or like vetting their own products that they're auctioning. Like, it shouldn't be us, like random person on Reddit or random account on Instagram doing all the investigative work. It's crazy. Yeah, we should absolutely just pull slabs off the market and destroy them.
Mrs. Doc didn't know what she was walking into. I haven't really told her too much about this, so that was a perfect segue into that.
I'm not going to argue that there shouldn't be a similar thing in cards. I'm just saying that because it's Disney, if you go up to them and you say, I purchased this and this is a scrapper, they would immediately give you a pin of the same value.
You'd never be able to do that with Panini and Topps. I mean, you try asking for a replacement and they won't even do it sometimes. They'll just ignore your request. I mean, I don't even know. Like, yeah,
They won't even
crazy.
send us our cards that they put redemptions in packs. Like, they won't even send us the ones that we actually bought from them, let alone a replacement.
So a redemption pack for a pin, like, can you imagine opening up one of your packs and it has like a little slip of paper and says, next year, you'll be able to get this limited edition pin. But, haha.
Yeah, you never get it.
That sounds more like a D23 thing than a Disney thing. Disney,
But the principle of it just sounds absurd.
no, I understand. That's why I'm saying it sounds like a D23 thing.
I don't know that many of our listeners will know about that, but you're right.
I won't explain it because it's boring. But with Disney, customer service is big for them. And it's clear to me that in the card world, perhaps customer service is not as big.
Yeah.
You are very insightful.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Ricky's cousin came on and the people who aren't necessarily immediately in the know, they ask these very common sense questions like, why isn't this happening? Or how do you not know that the jersey's not coming from somewhere else? And so, yeah, you're asking great questions. You really are.
Absolutely.
So I think Disney does some great things with pins. To transition just a little bit, I really wish that there were low numbered parallel pins. I think I would buy every pin pack out there if that were the case.
Well, so their packs don't have, so if you found a number in a pack, so I would have like sets in, let's say it was a pink. And so you would say like 5 of 5 because there's 5 pins that you're trying to collect. And so it would be 1 through 5. But if they have a limited edition, it's just a pin that you would purchase specifically. And so you would know, like, that's a limited edition pin. And then once you opened it and looked, it would say like 1 of 4,000 or 1 of 1,000. I think Chad has a 1 of 500 pin.
Oh, so they do have pack odds, basically.
It's just you buy it specifically. Like, you know what you're getting when you buy it. It's not in a pack.
Okay.
It's like
Right.
you just buy it straight from Panini's website.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you usually have to get it in person.
Yes. It's called an analogy, honey. So, Tim, other things you wanted to discuss about Disney Collectibles. We got just a few minutes to wrap up here. You have a few other things listed of Disney Collectibles and things that you would chase. We definitely got to talk about Disney license cards. What else on that list do you have, Tim, that you want to touch on before we go there?
Well, walking around, I mean, you guys saw me spend a decent amount of time in the Disney art store, and it's just really cool looking at these paintings. I mean, you've got limited edition prints, and you go to the Disney website, for example, and you want to buy this really cool piece, and it's sold out. I mean, you have to really chase after these, too. And they've really kind of figured this out as far as making things special and different, and there's so many different ways to go about collecting at Disney. I mean, you guys did Trader Sam's mugs, right, at some point. Waited in a really long line for that. They've got
Yes, indeed.
popcorn tubs, the themed popcorn tubs. They've got clothing lines that are limited. Lilo and Stitch. There you go. Mrs. Doc.
I don't know how to say it, but it's NUIMO. Little toys, and they have clothes.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Disney knows what they're doing. I think some card companies could definitely take some pointers from the way Disney handles their business with their collectibles. But Tim, before we wrap up, Disney cards. So I'm confused on this. Let's transition it back to cards just a little bit. So Panini has a license for Disney stickers, but Topps has a license for Disney digital cards.
Exactly, which they've been running for about 2 years, and it just doesn't get talked about very much. I think it'll be interesting to see now that Topps and Michael Eisner, so basically Disney, are going to be blending together and see where they go with that. Because right now all Panini has are stickers, and once they kind of do a print run, it seems like they just forget about it, don't support it anymore. It's like right now on their website, for example, they've got Toy Story 4 stickers, they've got Frozen 2, and there's not much else for selection. So they're not really doing a whole lot with that, but I think they could. It's the same model.
I really think they could as well. Mrs. Doc, you got into the online, Collect Topps or Topps Collect Disney, which you can spend money to open up packs and you can get rare cards and look at odds. And honestly, I even had some fun with that. If they ever explored a physical card, I think that would just boom. And I think people would go nuts over it.
They're missing a big opportunity there. I mean, you can hear it in Mrs. Doc's voice as far as just how fun it is to collect. I mean, there's a whole new world out there that they could really, really run with.
I think it's probably good for our joint finances for both of us that those packs don't exist. Not so much for you, but for me.
Probably true.
Me buying the packs.
Well, Mrs. Doc, thank you so much for joining us. I spared you the It's a Small World music live, but we'll probably do a little something with that somewhere.
Thanks.
All right, Chad. Next segment, we'll be talking about how you think I'm a troll. Thank you for contacting the Pack to the Future customer service line. Calls may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance. How can I help you today?
Yo, bro, it's Chaz. It's Chaz. You know what I'm calling for, bro.
I'm happy to help you today if you can be a little bit more specific.
Yeah, bro, I'm calling on my update on my Drew Lock National Treasure RPA. Sick heat. I pulled this fire straight from a Rip God's break. Sick National Treasure. I want to sell this thing for stacks of cash, bro. I'm going to be at the National soon. I want to show them stacks right there on display cases for all of YouTube to see, baby.
I would be very excited for you if you were able to do that. Unfortunately, the estimated wait time will be approximately 2 years.
2 years, bro? Your website says 120 days.
Yes, by my calculation, if you add 1, 2, and 0, while dividing by the Panini coefficient and rounding up to the nearest lunar year, this will take 2 years. If you'd like to ask for a replacement, please email packtothefutures@gmail.com.
Bro, Chaz doesn't do math. Just send me the card, bro. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Hopefully you enjoyed our first segment. If you want to reach out to us, we're always available on Instagram at Pack to the Future Podcast. Now, Tim, I was absolutely baffled when you put together the topic for the show. You created this segment, for the record, for everyone out there.
I put it out there because I figured it'd be entertaining. Hopefully debatable, too.
It's definitely going to be entertaining, Tim. This segment is called AITA.
Are we allowed to say that without having to bleep it? I think so, right?
I don't know. We're going to go for it, though.
Yeah, let's just run with it. We haven't gotten flagged before yet, and it'll be easier for you to edit. No beeps.
I appreciate that. Plus, you guys won't call me out on the beeps the next time I'm away.
Exactly.
So, Tim, you listed scenarios, and we had to edit this down from about 37 different scenarios that you put in.
Get out of here.
Where you were called out for maybe not necessarily being the biggest friend to our listeners out there. But we edited it down to a few that we're going to rattle off here. And, let me and the listeners decide, Tim, if you're not being the most kind and friendly to everyone out there.
You mean my online persona is not this friendly family medicine doctor?
That's probably under your 7th Twitter account or Facebook account.
Oh, but the inspiration for this segment was you giving me a hard time for the Tony Kukoc patch auto that I bought from 2019-20 National. Panini Noir. Sorry.
Yes. And you listed that as Exhibit A. So we're going to jump into this. I'll read these off, but then I want you to provide the context and kind of try to defend yourself almost in a way as to what happened, if that sounds good.
Fair enough. Present Exhibit A in a little bit more thoroughness then.
All right. So Exhibit A, and again, Tim listed these. This isn't me. This isn't Ricky. Ricky's busy riding the small world. Exhibit A 2019-20, Tony Kukoc, Panini Noir patch autograph. This is a beautiful looking card, Tim. 2 or 3 color patch.
Yeah, 4, I think, right? So
do you know?
White, red, black, and like edging. So, 3 colors, but it was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And an on-card auto.
On-card auto, which is big. I don't do stickers for the PC.
Uh-huh. Now, naturally, every one of our listeners knows where that card should belong. But Tim, did you end up with this card?
I did.
Tim, did our Pack to the Future Instagram not send a direct link to a Kukoc collector about this eBay item?
Yes, it did. But in my own defense, you know how my memory is, and I didn't specifically recall that it was this particular card. But it did inspire me to check my saved eBay search, which I actually have had for Tony Kukoc, because he is one of the players I'm missing in my collection.
Okay. Tim, who owns the card?
Currently, I do.
Timmy. Now, Kyle's Wax Museum podcast has talked about when there are two collectors of a player that they will get together, they will discuss as to not drive up the price of a card and to try to promote friendship in the hobby. Did you do this with Kukoc Jeff?
I did apologize after the fact.
Timmy.
After the auction ended, I was like, did I outbid you on this? ?
Now, did you actually do that after you won the card, or did you do it after you posted the card to Instagram and he called you out for sniping the card from him?
No, I did that beforehand. Beforehand. Yeah, right after the auction ended, because my max bid was $100.23. And literally, if anybody had bid another nickel above that, I would have lost. So I wasn't fully expecting to win it. I was like, well, okay, if this goes beyond $100, I'll let it go.
And what did you win it for?
$100.23.
Ooh, right on the max.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, this one's tough. You are a Bulls fan. You did allegedly have it on a safe search. But we did send him the link. Like we said, hey, here is your card. I'm going to try and give you the benefit of the doubt, Tim.
It does look bad.
It does look bad. I mean, if we were to write this out on paper or perhaps present it in a podcast for everyone to listen to, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, I would say that it does sound and look like a snipe, but it is a card that I wanted, so that should have been fair game. I mean, you bid on eBay for a reason, and I won.
That hate isn't going to get you much love with our listeners. I tell you what, maybe we'll create a poll on Instagram on Saturday or Sunday this week when the podcast comes out. We'll let the listeners decide on that one.
Yeah, for each of these exhibits. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. That one came across a little better than I thought. But this one, Tim, I hope you brought your defense team. I hope Ricky is actually not in Disneyland and that he's preparing your case, because Exhibit B is not good.
All right, let's get some card court music going for this one, because this one could be
you got
intense.
it. Tee it up, because you're going to need it. We should be playing this whole time, to be honest with you, because none of these are perfect for you. Exhibit B, I will start while you tee up the music, Tim. So we have not a consigner, but a submitter of graded cards to PSA. And just like the rest of the world, our cards were not coming back at the time frame that PSA said that they would. And so what does Tim do? Does he say, hey, you know, PSA's 12 million cards backlogged. It's going to take some time, and I'm going to have to accept it. No. That's not the Tim that we all know and love. So, Tim, do you want to describe what you did?
Well, since everything in the hobby world should be about me and my PC, and because, well, more accurately, I was the only one affected by the submission delays by PSA, or so I thought. I had this conspiracy theory going that this group submitter was maybe doing something nefarious behind the scenes by pocketing the difference between a standard 20-day submission fee of $22 and the lower 45-day bulk submission rate of $12 because it had taken so long for my cards to get back. And this was before, I would say this is before we fully understood how bad the backlog was for PSA. Because I hadn't heard too many people say that their orders were that delayed. And even one of my friends had a 45-day submission come back within like 2 months, while mine hadn't even been marked as received by PSA. That's what really set it off. I was like, something's amiss here.
Timmy. Now, this 45 day from your friend, was that through the same bulk submitter or was that directly through PSA? I missed that part.
It was through a different submission group, but also a bulk submission.
Okay. So, Tim, you get this wild hair, and I give you credit for this. You were so persistent with texting Ricky and I that you almost got me on board with this. And I think you did have me on board with this for a little while.
Did I?
But do you keep it within our group of friends through text? No. Do you maybe post one thing about it on our Instagram? No. Do you just talk about it on air? No. Tim goes to the group submitters Facebook page and blasts this small business owner and directly calls him out without any known facts about this subject.
Well, I wanted proof. I wanted proof that he wasn't doing this. I wasn't the only one. There's this guy I message with fairly frequently about the hobby on Facebook, and he was just as upset too. He had similar situations going on, and he was equally interested in having this group submitter prove, just by screenshot, that he did not submit our 20-day standard submissions under the cheaper 45-day bulk rate. And did this bulk submitter respond? No. No proof. That just fueled the fire for me. I got more upset after that.
You did. That did not help the situation when there was no response.
No.
Tim brings a gas can to this fireball of hell. You sprayed the gas everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked that you didn't single-handedly bring down this man's business.
He persisted by pleading the fifth and saying, oh, no. I mean, this is happening to everybody. I'm pushing PSA as hard as possible to get your cards back, and claiming that he had some kind of influence, which we all know that group submitters, despite their claims of being like preferential clients, they had no control over this delay either.
So, Tim, do you have anything else to add to your belittling of false accusations of a small business from Facebook?
No, this was 100% warranted. I'm still upset.
Tim, you're the ass. That was brutal. That was so bad. Oh, I can't wait to see how our listeners vote on this. This is going to be very exciting. We didn't really talk about a vote, but the vote's totally going to happen. We're going to post a poll, and this is going to be great.
Nothing's 100%. Come on.
Oh, listeners, please make this 100%. Make it 100% against him. Oh, I'll give something away if we get to 100%.
I'm going to sign into my troll account and vote in favor of me. Just to throw up.
We're going to have Junkie
100%.
Tim 1, Junkie Tim 2,
No,
Junkie Tim 3.
I'm PMing Rip Gods after this episode is done recording.
Oh, man. Well, Tim, you are under the hot lamp, whatever it is, and it's not going to get any better.
No.
Because Exhibit C.
Oh, this was fun.
You got some serious explaining to do.
No, this one was fun.
Fun? This was awful. You do this to me all the time. Go ahead, Tim. Tell us the situation here.
No, I mean, this shouldn't even be on this list, but I put it on there because it got so many likes on Instagram.
Oh, my God. You're making it so you are becoming the immediate villain.
Well,
all right, go ahead.
Our good friend Kyle over at Wax Museum Podcast, we talk about him a lot, and we interact with him a lot. So this is why I felt comfortable doing this. I mean, I think he's crossed over that threshold of being more than just Instagram acquaintance and hobby acquaintance. You know, I mean, dangerously close to being a friend. So I felt comfortable saying this because he was asking for mailbag questions for this episode since he's going to the National and wanted to record in advance and be able to release an episode while he was gone. And so my question to him was, as a teacher, is a chip, in quotes, so CHIP, like a potato chip, an acceptable abbreviation or replacement for championship? As in, Reggie Miller never won a chip because of Jordan. I had to give an example.
Let's just stop. Just stop. Tim, that's unsolicited trolling. to absolutely try to destroy someone's childhood, teenage years, in his 20s. I don't know how old Kyle is, but you do this to me all the time. All the time. I'll post a photo of a prized Utah Jazz card, and I'm really happy about it. And the next morning, unsolicited, I'll get a photo from you of Michael Jordan pushing off to beat the Jazz to win the finals.
That is
and
not
you'll be
true.
like, sometimes you won't even say anything. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, look, I bought this as a 16-foot by 24-foot rug for my house.
I do have that as a rug, but it's his all-star dunk, not the push off of Brian.
Oh, Tim, that is just awful.
No.
You know what?
No. I mean, don't you want that as a hobby friend? I mean, you want somebody who knows your favorite teams and sports moments well enough to give you crap about it. And that's all I was doing. Could I have stopped
Tim, it's because your team in this scenario ripped the heart out of every other team that you're joking with.
No,
like it's a one-sided fight.
It happened. This is NBA history. I don't know if anybody out there watches America's Got Talent, but Howie Mandel, this is a bad tangent, but it's relevant.
Ricky, where are you with the mute button?
Howie Mandel has emerged as the Simon Cowell part of the judges because he's now the perceived mean one. But I'm a Howie supporter because he's the one that rips through everything and just speaks the truth. That's all I was doing in this instance. Reggie Miller did not win a championship because of Michael Jordan taking him down in Game 6.
Oh, you're so awful. And I had a feeling you would try to defend yourself. So I got us a little recording of someone. Tim, do you have that recording I sent you?
Yeah, I haven't listened to this. I don't know what I'm in for, but Kyle's got no argument here.
Fire it up.
What's up, guys? This is Kyle from the Wax Museum podcast. Look, I saw your little Instagram advertisement looking for victims of Tim's trolling. Let me get something straight from the start. I am not a victim. Now, Tim might have tried to razz me recently. Well, I guess razz is the wrong word to use with him. Taunt me. Tim tried to taunt me. You see, I was minding my own business, preparing for a listener mailbag, and Tim decides to use the Pack to the Future handle, not his own, not Stinky Tim, but the Pack to the Future handle to submit the following question. He said, to a teacher, is CHIP an acceptable abbreviation or replacement for a championship, as in Reggie Miller never won a chip because of Jordan? Let me tell you a little bit about chips. Okay, the Bulls were founded in 1966, the Pacers in 67. They got a head start. By 1973, the Pacers had won their third title. The Bulls, on the other hand, had just strung together their third season of being over 500. 3 chips. Anyway, you act like Jordan was part of an exclusive club for blocking Reggie from the finals. The team actually made it in 2000, where they lost the chip thanks to a duo named Shaq and Kobe. It wasn't Mike that stopped him then. You might have blocked this era from your memory, but Mike had just quit for the second time. And speaking of quitters, I'm really disappointed that Ricky's absent for this week's recording. I got a nice little Barry Sanders card in this week, but I'll be taking it to the National, roaming around with my new BFF Chad, trying to unload it for something better because I don't collect cards of quitters. Now back to Tim. You asked for the thousands who had been wrong to air their grievances. I speak for myself, but I also speak for those who don't have a voice. The next step will be feats of strength. It's not too late. Book your flight to the National, and we'll settle this mano a mano. Keep up the good work.
Yes.
Oh, man. Whatever, Kyle.
That was amazing.
Whatever, Kyle. We can settle this over the internet. I don't need to show up in person.
Give Tim a keyboard and a bottle of water. He'll take you down. Oh, that was amazing. That was good. Tim, it's not looking good for you so far.
Yeah, whatever. Let's bring it. Let's move on to another example.
Yeah, go ahead. We got room for both of these, or you want to just do one more?
Let's just do one more. Maybe I'll do a hobby tag with the other one that I wanted to finish up with. But
okay.
Exhibit D. We'll keep it at 4.
Okay.
Recently, I don't know if anybody's been following the news, but the Dallas Card Show this last weekend, something happened, Chad. Somebody got arrested. Like,
I saw that.
Actually arrested. Handcuffs and everything booked. Booked as a felon. For doing what? He was dumb enough, well, one, to try stealing a card, and he stole the Luka 1 of 1. I forget which product, but it was a big Luka card. And he got away with that part of it. He probably could have left the convention center with that in hand. But what did he decide to do? He came back and went to another vendor at the same show and tried to sell it to another vendor who was like, wait a second, this car's been stolen.
You got to keep grinding, baby.
Yeah.
You can't stop the grind.
Apparently not, yeah. Where else was he going to go? But that's not where the story ends. One of my good friends, David, on Facebook, we also chat fairly frequently. He has been featured in a sound quote in an interview in one of our earlier episodes, but he sent me the picture of the guy who stole his card. And it was a freeze frame of him getting let out by the security officers. And all you see is the back of his head. And he sent it to me because he was like, was this you? It's like, what? So I zoom in on this picture, and it kind of does look like the fade that I have going on, and it's black hair, and he's built pretty close to me. He's about as short as me. And I was like, oh my goodness, that does look like me. But why would anybody assume that? I wasn't even at the show. Like, why would anybody think that I would steal a card? Why?
Did you listen to the first 15 minutes of this segment?
I'm not a thief.
Oh, I did see it. I saw the link that you sent to me, and that person does look an awful lot like you. I can't comment on...
From behind.
I'm not going to comment on that. I am not commenting on that. Well, Tim, you didn't make great convincing case for yourself here, but I'm going to be interested to hear what the card collecting world has to say about it. You're going to be put through the ringer when the show comes out.
My beef with you still is that these situations do not necessarily show me being a troll. Like, I'm not baiting somebody into being dumb or looking dumber. But the question does exist. Am I the situations?
And with that, we'll be right back. Lonely and sleeping on the couch again tonight? Has your partner started resenting all the time that you spend on Instagram? Have you stopped ordering the poo-poo platter to share at the restaurants? Running out of excuses to go to Target and Walmart? Call the Love Docs Hobby Relationship Advice Hotline at 801-893-1609.
Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully that last segment got you laughing a little bit. And remember to just reach out to us on Instagram at Pack to the Future Podcast, where either in a story or a post we'll poll you on whether or not I was trolling, an ass, or justified.
I'm not even going to put the last option on there.
Whatever. But Chad, I misspoke earlier. I know you're excited about football, but Panini does this thing where they do really, really late releases of the previous season's basketball products, which I will never fully understand for a product like Select, where they're just printing images. Could very easily release that earlier. But July 28th, Select Basketball for the 2020-2021 season is about to release.
It is late. It is a product that I usually really look forward to, and I've really enjoyed in the past.
You really have. It definitely was one of those boxes where we're like, oh, we can definitely go pick up 1 or 2 or 3 and rip through those and have a little fun. And that ended last year for sure.
Yes, it did. When was the last time you bought a Select box? Do you think it was 17-18 or do you think it was 18-19?
17-18, because Luka's year, it was just game over already. Like, we were like, oh my goodness, the boxes are like $400 already. And
oh, could you imagine a $400 box of Select?
Oh.
How many I would buy right now?
Oh yeah, you'd have them stacked up on that shelf behind you.
I would. I really would. Oh, the days. But you have listed here on our notes $850 to $900 a box. Is that what you saw?
That's what I'm seeing for pre-sale prices on, like David Adams and Steel City Collectibles. At least earlier today, that's what I saw.
Ooh. So I have some thoughts about this.
Yeah, what's that?
Do you want to give us your thoughts on it first? I've got some data here.
Yeah, I won't steal your thunder, but I think the immediately obvious thing is that it's not 2,000 a box. That's a win, right?
Yep.
I mean, 1920 is still looking at, I think, yeah, it's north of 2,000, probably closer to 25 or even 3,000 at times, right? Is that what you saw?
It can be. It's come down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But it is definitely higher than the 850 to 900. You're exactly right.
Yeah. So how's it compared?
Very much what we predicted on this show several months ago.
You did. Yeah, you gave us a little twinkle of hope there that things were going to improve because this rookie class was a little underwhelming.
Yeah, it really was. So some of the data that I came up with, and this is great. I love that I have data here. And Ricky isn't here to just interrupt me every 30 seconds. This is great.
I know.
So for the next 45 minutes, I'm going to give you all the data that I have found.
You know why that
nothing
is,
Ricky
Chad?
can do to stop it.
Yeah, you know why that is, Chad?
Why?
Because Ricky doesn't always know what he's talking about. And I think he feels threatened when we actually have facts and data to present.
You might be right. And this episode, how refreshing has this been? I don't think I've been interrupted once. This is lovely.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good about, not talking over each other. And then, it's even easier now that we're not recording on the same feed, which is nice.
Yes, it is. Okay, so Tim, here are some numbers. So I think that there are two ways to look at the price of the box. I'm not necessarily going to argue for one or the other. I'm just going to tell you what the facts are. So I looked at the last 3 years of Select box prices over the last 6 months.
Okay.
This is data from Card Ladder. 2019, 2020, over the last 6 months, the box price of Select is down 48%. But the box price is still $1,800.
Wow, even after that drop. Yep.
Even after the drop.
That puts things in perspective.
It does. Of note, and we'll talk about this here in just a second, the chase card, a Zion rookie, silver, PSA 10, selling for about $750.
Yeah.
Okay. 2018-19, down 41% over the last 6 months, but still selling for $4,000. Indeed. The chase card, a Luka silver in a PSA 10 slab, selling for $2,100.
That's Select?
Okay. That's Select of that year. So just the chase card, one of the chase cards that I would argue, the Luka silver, his rookie year, PSA 10, selling for $2,100, but the box price is $4,000.
Yeah, that's rough.
See where I'm going with this? That one of the most highly sought after cards is not even worth the price of the box. And in 2017, 2018, down just 26% over the last 6 months.
That's holding pretty solid.
Box price still $1,900.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell is, of course, the card that I pulled for reference here. Donovan Mitchell, rookie.
Not Tatum.
Silver, PSA 10, just sold for $700.
Okay. I would think that would have been more, but that's in line with how Donovan gets treated in the hobby.
That's true. I should have looked up Tatum.
No,
bigger market,
Tatum.
but you get the point here, right?
Exactly.
Is that so you can argue it both ways. Number one, the box prices have trended downward over the last 6 months significantly.
So you're saying that's
but the
just
box
the general
prices
trend.
are still high.
Yeah. So you're just saying the general trend is that box prices are coming down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. But even still, with the prices that they're at for previous years, one of the most highly sought after chase cards of the set is still not worth the price of the box.
No, that's terrifying, especially with grading costing $200 a card right now. I mean, yikes, right? I mean,
Indeed.
Select has basically become a product that you can't grade at these current prices, at least not with PSA. And that used to be a thing, right? Like you could grade any of those rookie cards and stash them and, know that in a couple of years you might have a couple $100 card, $1,000 card. But that's not going to happen right now anyway until the new service levels open up. And I've been seeing people divert their cards to SGC then because the prices are lower. And I've seen people get their cards back within 3, 4, 5 weeks. That's amazing. I mean, that's how we used to get cards back from Beckett. Like, you remember that? Like, you would send a card off for 10 days and actually get it back within 10 business days. I mean, those were the days. And I think people are seeing that SGC offers that service, and cards are getting pretty comparable price wise. So, I mean, that's an option if they're trying to squeak out value from these boxes. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, the prices have improved box wise, but like, what do you think? I mean, is the value there at all? Like, is it worth it at all?
I love the trend that the price is lower and the starting price is lower. I think that bodes well for the hobby. I think it was predictable. I won't be buying a box for $800 or $900.
No,
there's not a chance.
No, it actually sounds affordable. That's the messed up thing. You know, you're looking at like Panini Noir was like over $1,000 a box this year, right? Closer to, I think it was $1,500 a box.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad that anything south of $1,000 sounds affordable in the hobby now. But yeah, I agree. Even at $800, $900 a box, you know, plus tax, that's still basically $1,000. I can't do it.
No, everyone stop right now and think, if you had $1,000 and could buy your PC player, think of what $1,000 could get you for a single card of that player.
Oh my
now,
goodness.
would you rather have that, or would you have a single box of Select? And I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. When you put it in that perspective, it's actually kind of sickening, right? I mean, you open a box that you could basically get maybe 10, 20, 30% of your value back on, or you pick up a really nice card on eBay like a Tony Kukoc patch auto.
And you know what? Even at 10%, as awful as that sounds, Tim, I think after our box wars last week, both of us would have taken 10% return.
Yeah, done. That would have been amazing. Give me $25 over any of the cards that I pulled.
That box war is still so brutal. Not only was the box war bad, and then I totally butcher a sensitive subject in Sean Bradley, and it was just so awful. Like, the whole bit was just awful. We're never doing box wars again. I apologize for that.
Or we'll find a better product. Yeah.
Select. A couple of good things with it that I do like. I did see from the sheet that you sent out from Beckett.com, the in-flight signatures are back. And I really enjoy those. They showed a picture of Dr. J. Did you see that one?
Yeah. I mean, those are just good looking cards, especially for autos. I think the tie-dye in flights, you'd be hard pressed to find a better looking auto card in the hobby. But
do you think that they will do retail just like football did?
They probably have to, because I don't think they're going to move enough hobby boxes at these prices this year with the adjustment. And I think Target and Walmart, well, Target especially, has been doing these sneaky drops of retail product, and it's included Prism. So I could see them doing the same thing with Select, and that would actually be pretty cool for people, because that's the way to afford Select. I mean, you saw it with football.
It is. Unfortunately, it means that base cards will be overproduced. Non-numbered parallels will be mass-produced as well.
Yeah, the parallels.
And if you are looking for value, it will further drive that down.
I agree. I mean, I dropped this picture in there for you of, well, the screenshot of all the different parallels. You know, you've got your concourse level, the premier, and courtside. I mean, count how many parallels that is. 4, 5, 10. So that's 13 amongst the concourse, 13 amongst the premier, and then another 6 for the courtside, which are the super rare ones. I mean, you're guaranteed maybe 2 in the whole box, and the checklist is long. So to try to do the rainbow of a player from Select at these prices, I mean, don't buy a box, people. Just go on eBay and snipe other people for their rainbow chase.
Could you imagine how much it would cost if you tried to do that just by ripping packs and boxes?
No, you'd never get there. I mean, you go bankrupt going there. Yeah.
You could have taken that space shuttle up around orbit for the price it would cost you to open up all these Select boxes.
That'd be amazing. You know, like if you could go up in space right now, and if you could bring a box of hobby product with you, can you imagine opening that in space and just watching your gorgeous RPA float around in space in front of you?
No, because I would buy a box of Flawless and I would hit nothing.
Yeah, you'd open the box and like the 2 encased cards would just be missing.
Yeah, and I'd throw a tantrum when I'm in outer space that I didn't hit my autograph. Oh, so Select. I love the way it looks. I'll probably buy some individual cards off eBay, but I will not be opening any boxes.
Yeah, I don't.
Not a
think I'll
chance
be
for those
either.
prices.
I might razz for one, but yep, no, won't be opening.
And then he will retire for the 37th time this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
But Tim, you also have National Treasures basketball.
Uh-huh.
Did you intentionally leave off the S on the show notes to see if you'd get me to say National Treasure?
I did. And
Well, you're not going to get me anymore.
dang it.
So you want to talk a little bit about this. You put a release date in August. Is that correct?
It did look like it, unless it gets pushed back. It's August 11th, which again sounds super late when, we're wrapping up the NBA Finals right now.
I don't understand this. Like, if it's already this late, why do you put that release so close to Select?
I don't know.
I'm not a business guy, but it just seems odd to me.
Yep, all of it's odd. But I think, unfortunately, this is still one of those chase products. I mean, it is the chase product for RPAs. So rookie patch autos, the out of 99 vertical cards are the chase card for basketball rookies. And I saw recently, or just more frequently now, that people are asking, so why, what's a true RPA then? Why does it matter? And there's some confusion because, obviously any rookie card with a patch, with an auto, technically is an RPA, right? I mean, I understand that argument. But I also dropped in those pictures of the different patch auto cards that are out there. You've got the vertical.
Right.
They're showing the example of Anthony Edwards, which I thought was interesting because there's no LaMelo. He's not freaking signing his cards right now.
You know what's odd though, Tim? On that link that you sent, they do have a picture of LaMelo. A LaMelo logo man autograph.
Yeah, computer generated. I mean, the dude hasn't signed in 2
you're probably
years.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I assume that the vertical is the true RPA.
Yeah, definitely the one that holds the value the most and is the most sought after. And that's true with other products like hockey too and football. You want the rookie card, and I don't know how to explain it any further except to say that is the original and the true rookie patch auto, because the horizontal, like the throwback one that they're going to do, that's not going to be a true rookie patch auto, and you won't see the values hold very well for the horizontals, because that's just, it's a cool card to own if you're collecting, but it's not the collector's desired version. And then they have the other cop-out one, which they kind of faintly call the colossal patch auto. Larger patch, which is cool, but again, horizontal. And again, despite having the rookie card emblem, not the true RPA in the product.
I have 3 issues with this off the bat.
Sure.
Colossal, first of all. The colossal patch is pointless because these are not necessarily even player worn or game worn.
Yeah, they're just throwing.
But when you get a rookie colossal patch like they show with Halliburton, that is completely pointless.
Yeah, it's. I mean, for a late release, right? Like, it's not even one that they're, like you said, it's not game worn. Yeah, it's pretty. They're putting in a bigger window, so you get a cooler patch that probably won't be a napkin patch, but sometimes is. But yeah, what are they doing with that? I mean, just keep it a different horizontal RPA, make it a true. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the colossal. Number 2, the design and the look of the cards, I don't love them.
No.
I think Noir looks better. I think that some of the photos from Prism look better than these photos, and the color design. Like, I look at this and immediately it doesn't reach out to me and say, wow, this is a beautiful card that I will spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on. And I might be in the minority, but for me, there is not immediate eye appeal.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, right? Maybe it's them chopping off their legs, having no cool, courtside image, like our friend Andy takes. And, the patch, at least the window is nice, right? It's a nice patch for the card that you're going to get. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I tend to agree. I don't know what's going on this week, but I tend to agree that the look of the card is underwhelming. And if not for the fact that it was worth what it will be worth, I agree. I mean, I don't know that this is something I would actively reach out for and try to collect otherwise.
Well, you line that up perfectly, because my third point is for how valuable these cards will still be. What I would expect out of this is a patch that is game worn, that we know what game it is worn from, just like Topps does in baseball, and that the photo of the player comes from that game as well. If I'm paying thousands or tens of thousands of dollars for an RPA, say of my guy Donovan Mitchell, or let's just say LaMelo for the sake of the argument of this year, I want to know that this game is from December X, when he scored how many points, and that it was game worn, and here's a photo of him playing in that game, and that is going to be his photo on the card. That would make these cards completely insane to collect.
Now,
that would do it for
cool.
me.
Yeah, I think if you, like, what would really do it for you then is, like, the Noir Spotlight autograph cards, like a blacked out, kind of faded out actual image from a game or a moment with a window for the patch, and like a gold ink auto. I mean, that would be
imagine
gorgeous.
that?
Yeah. But I agree. Like, why don't they do this? I mean, this is a late release. You just have to, like, Panini, just go get one of these jerseys that's actually game worn, for crying out loud. Anything, like, even from early in the season. Cut out a little patch, throw a hologram on that we can verify online, and proudly say, this is a piece of jersey for this player that I really love collecting. Done.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
And these are, Tim, by the way, these are not RPAs. These are RPWAs. These are rookie player worn autographs. There should be another P in there, but we're going to go with RPWA.
Exactly. Well, Chad, it's been a fun episode.
That was good.
Yeah.
I think we did okay.
Everybody. Yep.
How are we going to get out of here, though? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Usually it's Ricky.
Yeah, I got to cue up the music here.
Can we get out of here? That is the question.
There we go. Here we go. Oh, no, just kidding.
Wait for it. We don't know how to leave, folks. You're here with us.